And welcome to Read with Chide day 30. Um, so I had uploaded day 30 before. Somehow I can't find it on the videos, so I decided to record it again and upload it. So if you were wondering where's day 30, here it is now. And this is not live. Yes, so it will be uploaded and you would see it there. But do well to drop your comments and thoughts as you read day 30. So, day 30, we're reading Exodus 23, Exodus 24, and Matthew chapter 20. And I'm getting right into it. Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report, but not put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous person, an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. If thou see the ass of him that hated thee lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help him. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of thy poor in his house, in his cause rather. In my eyes. Keep verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay not thou, for I will not justify the wicked. And thou shalt take no gift, and thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous. Also thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You've been there before, you've been in their shoes before. And 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. But in the seventh year thou shalt let it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard and with thy olive yard. 6 days shalt thou do thy work, and on the seventh day thou shalt rest, that thine ox and thine ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. Funny how just today I was thinking about this. God's instruction to rest on the seventh day was not just about an ordinance, but because it is good for you. After working hard 6 days, rest on the seventh day, because in the Bible, in the New Testament, John says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that you are in health and you prosper, even as your soul prospers." So God is not only interested in your spiritual prosperity; He's interested in seeing that you are well in your physical body, right? And so when God instructs you to rest on the seventh day, it's not just because He's looking to give you another ordinance, but because it is good for you to rest. So, I was thinking about it that in today's world where, you know, we work Monday to Friday, whether you are doing a 9 to 5 or you're working for yourself, or you're a student, you're going to school, you work from Monday to Friday, at least in these parts of the world and in the western parts. And on Saturday, which is the day you're supposed to rest, if you're working, that's the day you will study for your professional courses or go to class for your professional courses. If you're a student, that's the day you would do your laundry, you would run errands and whatnot. If you're working, aside from preparing for professional courses and taking additional courses to keep upskilling yourself, that's probably the day you have to do your side job, your side, what do they call it, a side hustle, or to go and be with family members. So go and visit family and friends, attend family and friends weddings and whatever other functions, oh and there, all of that. That's the day you do your own things, because Monday to Friday work is everything you're doing. And if you're an entrepreneur, you have work to do on that Saturday as well as these other things. And then Sunday, we get up early in the morning. For many of us, Sunday is probably our busiest days of the week, especially if you work remotely. Wake up early in the morning, get yourself to work, to church rather, and you are serving in church all day, but church is refreshing, right? That's where you actually gather to, study the word together, be with other believers, be refreshed, and be ready for the week again. My point is, you are not resting at home. You are getting up early in the morning, facing Lagos traffic, and getting to church and all of that, and then coming back in the evening, because Sunday afternoon again is your chance to catch up with friends. Sometimes have lunch with friends, sometimes visit the friend that gave birth, or visit the friend that wasn't feeling fine, that didn't come to church, all of that. And my question is, when do we rest? When do we rest? And it's a question that was really bothering my mind. So reading it again here just made me think about it yet again. Back, what the? Okay, I thought I wasn't recording. Back to what we are reading, verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed of the month Abib. For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labor, thou shalt sow that which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread. God has said it many times. Neither shall the fat of thy sacrifice remain until the morning. The first of the first fruits of thy land shalt thou bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice, and provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. For mine angel shall go before thee, and bring thee unto the Amorites and the Hittites, and the Perizzites and the Canaanites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their works, for thou shalt utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water, and will take sickness away from the midst of thee. There shall nothing cast their young, nor be barren in thy land. The number of thy days I will fulfill. I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivites and the Canaanites and the Hittites from before thee. And I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. But by little and little I will drive them out from before thee, until thou be increased and inherit the land. And I will set thy bounds from the Red Sea even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river, for I will deliver the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and thou shalt drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee. Exodus chapter 24, verse 1. And he said unto Moses, Come up unto the Lord, thou and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and the 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, and they shall not come nigh. Neither shall the people go up with him. And Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice and said, All the words which the Lord had said will we do. People that will still build golden calf. And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings, and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood, and put it in basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. And he took the book of the covenant and read it in the audience of the people, and they said, "All that the Lord has said we will do, and be obedient." And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, "Behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words." Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and the 70 of the elders of Israel, and they saw God, the God of Israel, and there was under his feet, as it were, a paved work of a sapphire stone, and as it were, the body of heaven in its clearness. And upon the nobles of the children of Israel he laid not his hand. Also they saw God, and did eat and drink. And the Lord said unto Moses, "Come up to me into the mount, and be there, and I will give thee tables of stone, and a law and commandments which I have written, that thou mayest teach them." And Moses rose up, and his minister Joshua and Moses went up into the mount of God, and he said unto the elders, "Tarry ye here, for as for us, tarry ye here for us, until we come again unto you. And behold, Aaron and Hur are with you. If any man have any matter to do, let him come unto them." And Moses went up into the mount, and a cloud covered the mount, and the glory of the Lord abode upon Mount Sinai, and the cloud covered it 6 days. And the seventh day he called unto Moses out of the midst of the cloud, and the sight of the glory of the Lord was like devouring fire on the top of the mountain in the eyes of the children of Israel. And Moses went into the midst of the cloud and gat it up into the mount, and Moses was in the mount 40 days and 40 nights. That was where he went and received all the instructions that we read towards the end of Exodus. Now we will run off to Matthew chapter 20 and read that as well. Matthew chapter 20, verse 1. "For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is an householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. And he said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the 6th hour and 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and said unto them, Why stand ye there here all the day idle? They said unto him, Because no man hath hired us. He said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right thou shalt receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, Call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last unto the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should receive more, and they received likewise every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and thou hast made them equal unto us, which have borne the burden since the heat of the day. But he answered one of them and said, Friend, I do thee no wrong. Did thou not agree with me for a penny? Take that thine is, and go thy way. I will give unto thee last, even as unto thee. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is thine eye evil because I am good? So the last shall be the first, and the first last, for many be called, but few chosen. And before we continue reading this chapter, I want to say something. So just yesterday, right, I was discussing with my mom, and I said I can't remember exactly what happened, but I recalled the saying, life asked me what I will be paid for my work, and this is me paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly. Life asked me what I will be paid for my work, and I bargained. And when evening came, I realized anything I had asked of life would have paid me. And the point of that poem is to say, dream small, dream big is the same mind capacity you will use. So why not just dream big, right? That's one. Second thing I thought of as we read this parable is 11th hour. People say, oh, 11th hour miracle. And one day someone was like, do you realize that in Bible times 11th hour was 5 p.m., not 11 p.m., almost midnight. 11th hour was 5 p.m. because for them they counted evening and morning. So the 12th hour was 6 p.m. And so 11th hour here refers to 5 p.m., almost end of day. So end of day by 6, day has ended, right? So and I thought about it that, well, if you read this parable, 11th hour miracle still makes sense because, it was almost end of day. The entire day had gone by, nobody hired you, and they were probably wondering, how will I feed my family today? And then at the 11th hour, Jesus showed up and hired them, or the good man rather showed up and hired them. And they got to work for that day and they got paid the same thing that people who had been working since morning got paid. So in that sense, 11th hour miracle still makes sense, right? So yeah, just the thought of my head as I read. Verse 17. And Jesus, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 disciples apart in the way and said unto them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man shall be betrayed unto the chief priests and unto the scribes, and they shall condemn him to death, and shall drive him to the Gentiles to mock and to scourge and to crucify him, and the third day he shall rise again. Then came to him his mother, then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshipping him and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She said unto him, Grant that these my two sons may sit, one on your right and one on the other, and the other on your left in thy kingdom. This woman was showing faith. She believed in Jesus. But Jesus answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask. Are ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They said unto him, We are able. And he said unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them of whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the two brothers. Like, now 12 of us, they follow Jesus. So you went to bring your mother to come. Hey, God, want to lobby your way into, wow. Verse 25. But Jesus called them unto him and said, Ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it shall not be so among you, but whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. This is the second time I'm reading this today. This phrase here, Jesus said the same thing in chapter 23. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. And as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. And behold, two blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried out, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, thou Son of David. And the multitude rebuked them, because they should hold their peace. But they cried out the more, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, thou Son of David. And Jesus stood still and called them and said, What will ye that I shall do unto you? And they said unto him, Lord, that our eyes may be opened. So Jesus had compassion on them and touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight and they followed him. May God bless the reading of his word. Please do well to drop your thoughts and comments as you watch, as you listen, so that we can indeed study together, look at the questions you have together, figure out the answers to them, and grow as we study together, as we see Christ in the Bible, both in the Old and New Testament. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching this. Please ensure that you are subscribed to this channel. It's important. And click the bell icon so that you are aware every single time we are live. Have a lovely evening or whatever time you're watching this. Toodles.